AutoZone Liberty Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Mississippi State making a short trip up from Starkville, taking on Texas Tech. Reckham is in the house. The Bulldogs and the Red Raiders. The first meeting between these two teams since 1970. It's been 51 years, but they finally meet. And here come the Red Raiders, sporting the Texas flag, as we get set for this AutoZone Liberty Bowl from Memphis, Tennessee. And obviously, in some games, you have to search for storylines. Not today. Mike Leach, facing a team that he once coached for a decade, led him to a school record 84 wins, the winningest coach in Texas Tech history. Also took him to 10 straight bowl games, had a winning record each season. And what makes it even more ironic is the interim coach for Texas Tech was his quarterback in 2004. Of course, it all ended unceremoniously for Mike Leach in 2009 when he got into a bit of an issue with a player, led to his eventual firing at the end of the season. Still harbors some ill will toward those at Texas Tech as the Red Raiders make their appearance here at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. I'm Dave Neal. This is one of the greatest college football running backs in history, an all-pro or in the NFL, Deuce McAllister. Glad you could join us tonight. And Deuce, obviously, these games are about the players, but this one maybe a little bit more than just that. With Mike Leach facing Texas Tech, the first time he squared off against them since he left 12 years ago. What kind of impact does that have in tonight's game?
Well, I think it'll have a small impact. I mean, the games will always be about the players, and we know just from Coach Leach's his own words, it's only a couple of people that he doesn't have a great feeling with as far as Texas Tech is concerned. The community, the university, he still loves. He still is admired at that university, and so for him, he wants it to be about the players.
Yeah, well, certainly this is going to be an interesting game. We mentioned Sonny Cumbie, who not only is a Texas Tech alum, but the interim head coach who just took a job as the head coach at Louisiana Tech. But still, he's a guy that played for Coach Leach, and there's still some value in that. For more on that story, let's go down to Andrea Carter.
Thanks, Dave. Sonny Cumbie told me that the number one lesson that he learned from his time under Mike Leach is how important it is for you to believe in what you're doing, whether it's the air raid or the option or the wing tee. Whatever you do with your team, you have to believe in it, and that belief is crucial for this Texas Tech team. If you look at the staff, there are multiple coaches moving on in different directions, like you just said, but Coach Cumbie said that does not matter. This is a staff of professionals that truly care about these players. They have a strong belief in their game plan, which is important because you know Mike Leach has a strong belief in his quarterback, Will Rogers, and his air raid offense.
Well, thanks, Andrea. And speaking of Will Rogers, very few have put up the kind of numbers in the history of the game that Will Rogers has under this air raid offense with Mike Leach at Mississippi State. And really, you know, it's hard to think that this was what it was going to turn out to be a year ago when Will Rogers was just a freshman trying to learn this offense. But Deuce, this has been incredible what he's done this year.
Well, it's been really impressive, and I think when you look at it overall, it's because he's been able to go to not just one guy, but multiple receivers, and he plays really fast. And so for him to be able to pick up this system that quickly is impressive for Will Rogers. And we'll just go through a couple different looks here, and he identifies really, really well as far as whether it's via motion of where he wants to go with the football, has an outstanding release, very quick with the football. They do a lot of different things. Here you have the mesh concept. A couple guys running crosser routes. You can watch how he sets his feet to be able to come off of the number one, the number two guy, and just being able to climb the pocket. Nice job of standing in there and getting the ball to the receiver here. They're running a screen up top. He sees it. He doesn't like that look. He's able to reset, go to his number two receiver coming across the middle, and then comes back to the curl, the number three guy. That is where he makes the throw. So Will Rogers can really do a lot of things, and I'm interested to see how he comes out and performs today.
Well, obviously, Dak Prescott is the quarterback most associated with Mississippi State football, at least right now, because here comes Will Rogers. Look at the difference. Now, I know there are different offenses that they played in, but Dak had some kind of senior season back in 2015. Look at those numbers compared to what Will Rogers has done here in his sophomore campaign. 473 completions. I mean, it is just, he's gotten more comfortable. He understands what the reads are. He understands what Coach Leach wants. And it's been a fun offense to watch. Will Texas Tech have enough, certainly, to handle this Mississippi State offense? And yes, the Cowbells made their way to Memphis. Mississippi State won the toss. They deferred. So Texas Tech will get the football first tonight from the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. It should be duly noted that moments before kickoff, we found out that there are 10 major contributors to Mississippi State's team, 4 of which are starters that are unavailable to play tonight. This is a team that last year went through numerous games with just a shade over 40 scholarship players. They have been in this situation before. We'll see how they handle it tonight as this kick sails into the end zone for a touchback and out to the 25-yard line. Well, the young man in charge of running the show for Texas Tech's offense, Donovan Smith. He is a big dude, 6'5", 230-pound redshirt freshman. They have played 3 quarterbacks this year at Texas Tech. Donovan Smith has been the one that's taken him down the stretch. He's had some great games, had an outstanding game in his first start against Iowa State, but here he is in his first bowl game to lead this offense.
Dave, I think one of the things that you have to be aware of, his ability to be able to scramble and extend plays, that's one of the things that Mississippi State has to be able to control.